Now then, welcome back to the Lincolnshire Yellowbelly channel. So, first up on my travels is the amazing Alkborough. Yeah, it's amazing because it's got a maze. Julian's Bower. Look at it. Julian's Bower. Sounds a bit like either a dance move or perhaps an added Kama Sutra position. I don't know, but no, it's a place. So Alkborough appears in the Domesday Survey of 1086 as Alkborough or Alkborough, I don't know. It's got a population of 458. Most of which I went to school with occasionally. It's a cracking village with loads of history, superb wildlife watching area down on the flats, but we'll get into that in a bit. So first up, crack on, let's go get mazed up. So it's known as Julian's Bower or Julian Bower, a name given to turf mazes in several different parts of England. Now only one of this name still exists, and this is it. Magnificent. The name is believed to be derived from Julius, son of, let me pronounce this right, it's Aeneas, so Aeneas, anyway, them of Troy. And the word place name, element burh, meaning a fortified place, fort or castle. Now documentary evidence of it exists seemingly from around about 1697 it was documented, but nobody has ever been able to date neither the creation nor its creator. But here's a couple of options for you that are out there, okay? So firstly, St. Julian the Hospitaller. Oh yeah, that was his name. Now that's a title, innit? That his life was pretty much mapped out with that. Yeah, you're gonna be an hospitaller, mate. This is what the word hospitaller means. So, St. Julian set up a hostelry after, get this, accidentally killing his parents. Oh, we've all done it, haven't we? As you do. So he killed his parents one night. And he was visited by a leper. Because there was a few of them around back then. There's still a couple now. But we're not going to point them out. They know they are. And as there were no spare beds, he offered his own bed to said leper stroke traveller, who then turned into an angel. Yeah. Believable, innit? And then there's another option. So a local legend says that the maze dates to the 12th century and was carved as an act of penance by one of the 4 knights involved of the murder of Thomas Becket in Canterbury Cathedral. So it was a bit like an early version of getting done at school and having to do lines. Yeah, hey up, you killed Becky, crack on up there and dig a maze out. And then thirdly, perhaps the most plausible theory, that the maze was carved by a small collection of monks who lived in the area in the 13th century. Yeah, probably bored, you know what I mean? Monkeying around all day, say, oh, let's go make a maze. Why not, brother? Any road up, you decide what works for you. Take your pick. From its vantage point, it overlooks the confluence of the River Ouse and the River Trent. that splits off from the River Humber. Yeah, I didn't know what confluence meant either. The maze is roughly 13.5 metres, which is 44 feet across for anybody over 50. And it's been estimated that if you carefully follow the path to the centre, known as Jerusalem, you will have travelled a quarter of a mile. Its pattern is recorded in a 19th century stained glass window and on the floor of the church porch, and also on the gravestone of James Goulton Constable. I think that was his full name. I don't know whether that was his job title and name. I don't know. But his grave is in Alkborough Cemetery. Now, on a clear day, it's a brilliant view, honestly. On a clear day, you can see Emily Moore TV Tower, which is 40 miles away, and the top of York Minster, and the Kilburn White Horse. That's on a clear day. But if government-guided aeroplanes have been filling the skies with chemtrails, you won't see out. No, good luck with that. But all in all, Julian's Bower is an absolute gem of historical significance. And it's just a sweet place to chill out and maybe have a quick quarter of a mile mooch. Now lastly, a big shout out to Mr. Ken Goy. He's a volunteer, known for being prolific in its upkeep. For his devotion, he was awarded in 2012 North Lincolnshire Best Maintained Church Ground and Surrounding Area. Cheers, Ken. Lincolnshire needs more Kens. Top man.
Cheers, Ken.
Cheers, Ken.
Cheers, Ken. Right, crack on. Let's get down to flats. Now this is a twitcher's paradise. Beautiful. Thousands upon thousands of wintering waterbirds can be seen down Alkborough Flats, and these include the golden plover, the lapwing, the ruff, the black-tailed godwit, curlew, that's one with massive beak in it that bends at the end, the shelduck, the teal, the redshank, the pink-footed goose. Woo! Check you out. The widgeon. I thought that was a pigeon. I don't know. You can see the marsh harrier hovering. Cracking bird that. I do like a good bird of prey. The little egret. I thought that was a daft Irish lad. The spoonbill. And the unfortunately named bearded tit. Or the Noel Edmonds, as I call it. You can see mammals down there. There's otters, water voles, the brown hare. There's loads of species of bats, yeah. And my favourite, the wild deer. Magnificent. Now, scattered about down the flats, there's a few purpose-built hides where you can view the wildlife up close. One of which is this beauty, the aptly named The Tower. A wonderful structure that I have to say is a proper credit to the Environment Agency and English nature. The Flats to me is just a great place to simply be. Do you know what I mean? In this day and age of ever-increasing stress and anxiety and just life, it's a top gaff to go get some headspace. Treat your sen to a bit of your sen. Yeah, priceless. Now up the hill from the tower, you can find the World War II bombing range Northern Observation Post. For all intents and purposes, it does resemble like a knackered bush shelter, but its history tells a story. The following is a summary provided by an Alkborough resident who was a school kid during the Second World War. Ah. And he said bombers would take off from Elsham, drop smoke bombs on chalk targets. Yeah. Following a bombing run, a bearing of the bomb's landing site was taken from each of the observation posts, and the position of the site calculated using triangulation. Yeah, which was quite bright for a school kid, really, to remember that, wasn't it? I was still clapping at trains at his age. During one bombing run, a horse was killed, and on another bombing run, it narrowly missed a group of kids sledging. Man alive, yeah. I love finding these little relics, albeit in a state of disrepair, but they stand as a reminder, don't they? And long may they stand. So, you've never been to Alkborough? Why not? Crack on, get your send there. And if you fancy a bit of fodder while you're there, you know what I mean, like, I don't know, a cake or a latte or a chock-a-mock-a-locker. I don't know, it's up to you, innit? There's the Paddock's Tea Room. And if you fancy a pint, straight across the road, I'm sure you'll be welcome at Alkborough Coronation Club, or Percy's Palace as we used to call it as kids. I did a yard of ale in there on my 16th birthday. It went all over the shop. Anyway, that's episode 1 of the Lincolnshire Yellowbelly done and dusted. Hope you've enjoyed the jolly. Maybe you've learnt something too. I don't know. But please subscribe to the channel and also the notifications. And I'll see you somewhere soon in lovely, lovely Lincolnshire. From the Lincolnshire Yellowbelly, cheers!